go blues. Let's go blues. Hello, everyone. It's Mr. Harland. It's Mr. Harland. Whoa. Whew. Uh, today, we'll just be at this little cabin since I can't find my hut. Come on in. Sadly, there's no fire, but what the heck. This'll do. Today we're talking about a highwayman, another one from America, known as David Robert Lewis. David Lewis, known as Davy or Robert Lewis, born on March the 4th, 1790, was an American criminal who became known as the Robin Hood of Pennsylvania for his style of crime. Lewis was born in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. He began his criminal career as a counterfeiter, but eventually turned to highway robbery, known as the Robin Hood of Pennsylvania. There are numerous stories of Lewis having robbed from the rich to give to the poor. Many of these tales are more or less folklore than history, though there are several newspaper accounts from the period that describe Lewis as assisting the downtrodden, taking pity on some intended victims, and befriending many locals, who often assisted him in evading justice. Lewis apparently referred to himself as an equalizer. Lewis and his gang frequently used a network of caves throughout central Pennsylvania as hideouts and stores for stolen goods. Indian Caverns claimed to be one such hideout during its time as a show cave. Lewis was arrested several times and broke out of jail on every occasion. He was finally apprehended by a posse in 1820. He died from a gunshot wound received during his capture on his deathbed in Bellefontaine jail when he wrote an autobiography in the form of confessions, which was published at the time, excerpts of which have appeared in several newspaper accounts since. Well, there wasn't very much there now, was it? Well, that's why I also decided to add, we could talk something about another thing. A British highwayman named Mary Bryant. She was a Cornish Mary Bryant, who was born born with the name Mary Broad. Mary Bryant was born in 1765 in Llanlivery, Cornwall, the United Kingdom, and was a Cornish convict sent to Australia. She became one of the first successful escapees from the fledgling Australian penal colony, and it was quite a fledgling colony, sadly. Referred to as Mary Brand at the Exeter Assizes in Llanlivery, Cornwall, United Kingdom, to William Broad and Dorothy Goulith. William Broad was a farmer who also leased and copiced woodland with his brother Matthew in July 1785. Mary Broad was committed to prison to await trial for a highway robbery by the mayor of Plymouth, England, where her sister Elizabeth was living. She, along with Catherine Fryer and Mary Hayden, Elias Shepherd, was convicted of having robbed and assaulted Agnes Lakeman on a road in Plymouth, stealing a silk bonnet valued at 12 pence and other goods valued at €1 and 11 shillings. All three were sentenced to hang on the 20th of March in 1786, which was commuted to 7 years transportation by the judge. She was initially held in Exeter before being moved to Dunkirk prison hulk at Plymouth, where where she conceived her first child. In May 1787, Bryant was sent as a prisoner with the First Fleet aboard the ship Charlotte. Bryant gave birth on the journey to a baby whom she called Charlotte Spence Broad. When she arrived in Australia, she married William Bryant on the 10th of February 1788. Bryant had been convicted for impersonating seamen to receive some of the other men's wages, was also on the Dunkirk prison hulk, and Charlotte was married, and they later had a son, Emmanuel, born on May 6, 1790. William Bryant was a mariner. In early New South Wales, William was considered useful and was put in charge of fishing. When he was caught selling fish on the side, he was given 100 lashes. Bryant's transportation order expired in March 1791. He made a plan to escape with others by boat. Escape from the colony and recapture. On March 28, 1791, William and Mary Bryant, with her children and 7 transportees, William Allen, who had been in the Navy, James Martin, Samuel Bird, alias John Sims, Samuel Broom, alias John Butcher, James Cox, alias Rolt, Nathaniel Lilly, and William Morton, an experienced navigator, left the colony by boat. On board they carried initial provisions of food, fresh water, as well as a fishing net, and had acquired a compass, quadrant, and chart, later said to have come from a Dutch sea captain from the Wake Sam Herd at Port Jackson. Initially they had kept close to the coast and stopped to replenish their supplies of water and food as they traveled north. Their planned route involved navigating then uncharted Great Barrier Reef and the Torres Straits. After a voyage of 69 days, the group reached Kupang on the island of Timor, a journey more than 5,000 kilometers. This voyage has often been compared with William Bligh's similar journey in an open boat only 2 years earlier, after the mutiny on the Bounty. Bligh's voyage had also ended in Timor. Timor was then under the control of the Dutch at the time. The Bryant's party claimed to be shipwreck survivors. They were later discovered, imprisoned by the Dutch governor, then handed over to Captain Edward Edwards, of HMS Pandora, which had been wrecked. They were sent back to Britain to stand trial, first on a Dutch ship, the Renbang, to Batavia, in the company of survivors of HMS Pandora, a British ship sent to capture the Bounty mutineers. Thereafter, traveling from Batavia to Cape Town on the 3 Dutch VOC ships, Vredenburg, Hoornwee, and Horassen. I'm having fun with these pronunciations of names. Carrying Mary Bryant and her daughter Charlotte, arriving there on March the 19th, 1792, and later from Cape Town, and the company of Royal Marines returning from Sydney on HMS Gorgon. During the voyage back, Mary lost William and both of her children, Emmanuel and William, dying at Batavia on the 1st and 22nd of December of 1791. While Charlotte died on the last leg of the voyage, on May 6, 1792, Morton and Bird had also died, and Cox became a man overboard from the Horassen. Oh, that's just fun to try and pronounce. I have terrible pronunciation of names. Oh. Mary Bryant, Allen, Broom, alias John Butcher, Lilly, and Martin arrived back in England on the 18th of June, 1792. The punishment for escaping from transportation was generally death. But following court hearings in London, they were all ordered to remain on the former sentence until they should be discharged by course of law. Their case was taken up by the biographer and lawyer James Boswell. On May 2nd, 1793, Mary Bryant was pardoned, and she was released from Newgate Prison, her sentence having expired, while Allen, Broom's alias the Butcher, Lilly, and Martin had to wait until November 2nd, 1793 to be released by proclamation. Bryant returned to her family in Cornwall, and Boswell returned with €10 a year until his death in 1795. In popular culture, the Bryant's party's escape was the subject of a 10-episode serial written by Rex Reinets, broadcast by the Australian Broadcasting Commission in 1963. Mary Bryant was portrayed by Faye Kelton. There were some books, a fictionalized book, some plays, and some other things, but other than that, there was quite a bit of books. Lots of books. Too many to keep track of, or even mention. At least one name, because there's so many books. I count at least 12 books about this one lady, and all these people's escape. But other than that, I guess this was just a video talking about two separate individuals, or two events, because, well, there wasn't that much about the first person, and this one had a little bit more. But, what the heck. Oh my goodness. I'm tired from just making that first video. But, it's fun to do, and I love entertaining people. Besides, if you like today's two videos, feel free to subscribe, share, and leave a comment in the comment section in the comment section below about what you thought about today's two videos. And as one YouTuber said, we shall do this very soon again, my friends. Goodbye, everyone. See you next Monday.